In this lesson, we'll learn how to use the redaction tool in Acrobat. Redaction is the process of permanently removing visible text and graphics from a document. You use the Redact tools to remove content. In place of removed items, you can have redaction marks that appear as colored boxes, or you can leave the area blank. You can specify custom text or redaction codes to appear over the redact marks. To start this, you want to check your tool pane for the Redact tool. If you don't see it, you can go to the Tools panel up at the top, and somewhere at the bottom you should see Redact, and you could go ahead and click on it here. I will click on Redact. In the toolbar at the top, under Mark Redaction, you have three options. You can locate text and images, you can redact whole pages, or you can have Acrobat find text to redact for you. I will try all three. I'll start with text and images. There's a dialog here that just tells you that redaction is a two-step process. First, you mark areas for redaction, and then you apply the redactions. So there's two steps to add a little bit of security for you from damaging things you didn't want removed on your document. Even after applying redactions, if you close the document without saving it, you're back to the way the document was before you started redacting. So we're going to mark the redactions first. Once we have our redactions in place and we're satisfied, we can apply the redactions, and the redactions will permanently remove the areas that we've selected. I'll click OK, and I'm ready to select text for redaction. Now I'm currently on the first page of a 4-page document, and down here on page 2 I see there's a set of graphics, and I would like to come out here and highlight some of these for redaction. In fact, this guy on the right, the market share for Europe, I want to redact this information so it's not in the document. So I'm just going to place my crosshairs in the top right left corner of this. I'm going to go ahead and select, and you can see that it's been marked for redaction with the square red box around it. I'm going to go ahead and click on page 3 in my thumbnails on the left, and I'm going to go ahead and highlight maybe this first 3 numbered areas here under marketing objectives, and you can see that that text is now highlighted for redaction. So you can click on objects, or you can go ahead and just select text that you want redacted. You can also tell that an area has been marked for redaction. If you pass your pointer over the top of the area, you'll see that it's been blacked out. So over on the thumbnails, I can see that I have my graphic marked for redaction, and I have my numbered list here marked for redaction. To put this in place and actually redact it, I can click on Apply, and I get this dialog box that tells me you're about to redact this information, but it says that it's not going to truly make it permanent until the document is saved. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. It brings up another document or dialog that says, would you like to also find and remove hidden information in your document? It tells me that redactions have been successfully applied, but now it's asking me if I'd like to remove the hidden information. Well, that's sanitized document up here, and we're going to cover that in another video. And I can see that this area has truly been blacked out here. Next, let's take a look at how to redact a whole page. I'll come back up to my toolbar, and under Mark for Redaction, I will choose Pages. Now it asks me for a specific page. I'm going to go ahead and take a look down here. I'm going to start this first. I think I'm going to take out page 4 here completely. So again, Mark for Redaction, Pages. I'm just going to tell it I want to remove page 4, and I'll click OK. And you can see the highlight out here for page 4. It has the red box around it, and sure enough, if I come down here to page 4, you can see on the outside of it, it has the red box, and if I move my mouse pointer over the top, it goes completely dark. I will come up and choose Apply. I get that same warning before I had, and I'll go ahead and click OK. And it says, would you like to also remove hidden information? I'll just say no. Next, let's try searching for text or objects or phrases that Acrobat can go ahead and mark for redaction. I'm going to come up to Mark for Redaction in the toolbar, and I'm going to choose Find Text. Now, it's going to tell me that it's going to go ahead and search the document, but if I have any scanned images or line art that has text that has been scanned in, that's not searchable. Now, if you use OCR, the feature where you search the scanned document and turn it into text, then it is searchable. But you have to go through and make sure that if you have any words or phrases that are embedded within a graphic, that is, they have been scanned, they are bitmapped, in other words, you will have to go ahead and redact that image yourself. I'll click OK, and I get this search for redactment over here on the left. I'm going to search in the current document. I'm going to search for a single word or phrase, and I'm going to go ahead and search for the word marketing. Now, marketing is going to show up several times out here. I'm going to just leave it at that. I'm going to go ahead and say search and remove text, and it comes through and it lists all the areas that it went ahead and found this. So as I click on these, it's going to bounce through the document over here and find them. Now I can click the ones that I want to remove, or I can choose check all to take them all out. And I'm going to go ahead and say mark checked results for redaction. It goes through and it marks all these for redaction for me. So that can be handy. If you've got a very large document, that could be pretty tedious trying to do that manually here. So this wasn't a very big document, so it was pretty quick. From here, I'm going to go ahead and just choose apply. Gives me that warning again. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. Asks me about the hidden information. I'm just going to say no. And now I have this information that's been redacted from the document. I'd like to test my redaction procedure to make sure that these items truly are removed from the document. I'm going to do this by coming out and picking up my Edit PDF tool, and from here I can just click these objects, and when I press delete to take them out, you can see there's nothing behind them. They truly are missing. If I come out here and select this guy and I press delete, well, that's in actually an object box. So I'll select this guy. You can see there's really nothing there. So it really does take it out. So the redaction works pretty good. You have several ways to remove phrases, objects. It's a great way to secure your document for information that you may not want people to see. Now, if I look up at the top of my document, it said summary before. Now it says summary underscore redacted. I'm going to go ahead and close this. And it's going to ask me if I want to save changes. I'm just going to go ahead and say no. And there's my summary. If I open up summary, it's all back. So it's only completely removed if I were to save that document. And notice it didn't damage, or wouldn't damage, the original. It creates a copy of the original called summary redacted, and that's where the redaction takes place. So lots of backups here. You can work with this pretty safely if you just keep in mind the steps to follow here. It's pretty hard to get yourself in trouble.